Hey guys, I'm back here again for a Blu-ray, DVD, and VHS update. I also got some books I'm going to show off in this update, and I got a lot of stuff, so I want to go ahead and get into it. I'm going to start off with the VHSs, and the first three I'll show off are all horror. The first tape I'm going to show off is one that I actually found at Goodwill yesterday, and I was really excited to find it, because Goodwill is one place that I go to all the time. And, it's just one place where 99% of the time I don't find anything. And then when I do find something, it's usually really cool. I've seen a lot of collectors have this tape in their collection. And not this particular version of this tape. And, but I've never seen this cover before. And it looks pretty cool. I really do like it. And I've always wanted to see the movie as well. But it's Alice, Sweet Alice. And just look at that cover. That's just a really crazy looking cover. It's got the mask right there with the baby doll and the knife going through it and the blood. That's just really, really awesome horror VHS cover art. Now on the front it says, if you survive this, nothing will scare you again. I doubt that. But this is Brooke Shields' first movie. And like I said, I've heard a lot of people have this movie in their collection. I've never really seen anyone have this particular tape. I've seen the other version a lot more. Here's the back. The picture on the back looks really grainy, so I really don't think that this tape is going to be in great, in great quality. And this was put out by United American Video Corp. And it also says that it was released in Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah, it's at 1989 United American Video, Charlotte, North Carolina. That's kind of cool. I live in Salem, Virginia, so Charlotte, North Carolina is not that far from me. And here's the tape, which looks really, really, just a cheapo sort of label right there. So I doubt this tape is going to be in great condition. I mean, in great quality, but I just had to have it for the cover, and I've heard a lot of people talk about the movie, and the tape's in pretty nice condition, the box is. So, yeah, there's that. And then these next two tapes I got these both at a local flea market called Happy's Flea Market, which is near me. And it's an indoor and an outdoor flea market. And when I was younger, there used to be an indoor area of this guy that sold, there was a guy there and he sold a ton of VHS tapes. Like, he had an entire room filled with VHSs. He also sold stuff like vinyl records and stuff, and he still has a ton of vinyl records. There's like a whole room, like a huge room inside, just dedicated to nothing but vinyl records, which, I'm not a vinyl collector, but I know that he has like soundtracks, so the next time I'm going to go there, I'm going to be looking for some cool, movie soundtracks, because I'd like to be cool to get those. But most of the VHS tapes are gone now, and he's replaced most of them with DVDs. He's got a couple like kid stuff that you find at Goodwill, and he's got like one shelf of DVDs, and then the rest of it is like old VHS tapes that are they're not even movies or like documentaries and stuff like that. Nothing that anyone would really be interested in seeing. But before I left there, I went there a couple weeks ago, and when I left there, I noticed that there was a row of tapes behind him, and this stuck out to me. This tape right here, because I've heard people talk about this series. It's basically a Faces of Death ripoff, but the movie is Death Faces 4. And yeah, as you can see, the actual case is in really, the plastic's in really bad condition. But and even the tape isn't the artwork is backwards. This is the back of the case. It's supposed to be this way, but yeah, I absolutely just love that artwork though, right there. The skull with the knife going through it and the blood. That looks really cool. And on the back, there's just a ton of like. Let me read some of this to you. It says, forget Freddy on Elm Street. The last house on the left stands vacant now, and old Leatherface no longer terrifies Texas teenagers. Lizzie Bourdain has wielded her monstrous axe for the final time. For you, however, the terrifying journey has just begun, And like Rosemary, you might wish this gruesome seed has never been planted. You will come face to face with a shattering realization: you are not watching movie fantasy. Yeah, just stuff like that to hype the movie up, and it's just really fun. Because this is it's got. I'm assuming this has real death footage, but since it's a Faces of Death ripoff, I'm also assuming it has fake stuff in it as well. But like I said, the case is in bad condition, and the tape is. Let me open it up. Tape is, not in good condition. It does have a nice. It has a smiley sticker on it and says, "Please be kind, rewind." And I know that there's a. I think in North Carolina there's a flea market called Smiley's Flea Market, or somewhere near me. But I got this from Happy's Flea Market. But let me show you this. When I opened, I was taking the paper out because I noticed that this was bending up, and when I looked, I noticed that there was another sleeve, and I took it out, and there's actually another artwork sleeve, and it's just under the title Death Faces with this cover, which I thought was pretty cool. It just has a second artwork sleeve on it. It's pretty much the same as, the back is the same as this on this one. The only difference is this one is in a lot better condition. There's hardly any, wear and tear. There's like a bit of, it's just kind of bending there and on the back, but compared to this one, as you can see, it's in really bad condition. This one's in pretty nice condition. So it was really cool to see that it had two artwork sleeves on it. And as for those things, I don't collect those type of movies. I just saw it there because I just saw it there and I knew what it was, so I figured why not get it and just check it out. I've seen the Faces of Death films though, and they're an acquired taste. You got to be into that type of stuff to enjoy it. But I'm enjoyable for what it was. So I got that one, and I haven't watched it yet. But if anybody has seen any of those movies, let me know. And then the next thing I'll show off. Right as I got the tape down, he got it from his back row. I also noticed there was a stack of VHS tapes right next to where he was standing on the desk that he was at, and I saw this tape sitting there, and I was like, "Hey, can I see that tape?" And it is The Town That Dreaded Sundown. So yeah, another cool tape. I love that artwork. And I've never seen this movie, and I've heard a lot of people talk about it. It's in kind of bad condition. This is a Orion Good Times video release, but I've heard a lot of people talk about it. I know that Scream Factory just put it out. There's a Good Times tape, but yeah, once I saw this, I was like, oh yeah. I got the Death Faces for like $15, which I don't know if that was too much or if that was a good price for it, because I know that those tapes aren't really, they're hard to find, but they're not incredibly hard to find, so I didn't want to overpay, and I got this for $1. So yeah, thought that was pretty cool tapes. And now I'm going to move on to the Blu-rays. The first one I've already showed it off, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but it is the Funhouse, the collector's edition Blu-ray from Scream Factory. You guys saw me get this. Got this off eBay for like $12, and I already flipped the artwork, and I absolutely love the original artwork for that. Very, very cool. And let me try and, yeah. And then yesterday I went down to Walmart, my mom and I, and they had this for $5, and it's one movie I've never seen, and I've heard so many people talk about it. No Country for Old Men on Blu-ray. Yeah. Brand new, so yeah, I'll definitely be checking this one out. And we then went down to Big Lots. If you have a Big Lots near you, I highly recommend going to it, because they have a whole lot more Blu-rays now. If they used to just have a bunch of DVDs and a few Blu-rays, now they have a lot more Blu-rays, and they're all $5, which is great. And when I saw this, I had to jump. I got excited. It is the Rocky Blu-ray Digibook for $5. I mean, you really can't beat that price for this, great movie, and having it on Blu-ray in a digibook is really cool. So yeah, if you have a Big Lots, I highly recommend going down to it, because you'll get some great prices on some really cool Blu-rays. Now the other movies I'm going to show off aren't horror movies. They're just like, These are actually sort of kid movies. The first one I'm going to show off is a DVD, and it's basically, this is of a movie that I really loved growing up. It's one of my favorite animated movies, and I just wanted to get it on DVD. I got this at Walmart over a month ago or so for $5. Balto. This is a really great film for anyone who hasn't seen it. Really nice, really great animated film. You know, it's a true story as well, and I'm glad to have it on DVD. I've had it on tape for years. And then I got these tapes right here at a Goodwill, and I just got these because they seemed interesting. The first one is a movie called Wild America, and I know some of you guys are wondering why I got this. It's got Devon Sawa in it, who you guys may know. He was in Idle Hands and the first Final Destination movie. He's in this one, and also Jonathan Taylor Thomas, which I was a fan of. You know, I thought he was a good actor. I enjoyed him on Home Improvement, so I figured he might be good in this. And then I got this other film. This was one movie that from the company that put this out, Columbia TriStar. They put this out in their family collection. It's a movie called Alaska. And I remember seeing previews of this movie on other tapes that Columbia TriStar put out in this family collection, and I've never seen it. You know, I sort of grew out of that age of seeing these movies, and then I saw this there, and I was like, why not? So, you know. And then the last one is a pig movie. Some people might look at me like, why did you get that? I've always enjoyed this movie, Gordy. I know it's like a knockoff of Babe, but I've always liked it, you know. So those are kind of the, I guess you could call those the kind of embarrassing things that I got. And then the last couple of things I got are books. And I actually got these for, I got this one from that Goodwill that I got, the Sweet Alice tape. And it's a 3-book, I guess it's a collection of Frankenstein, Dracula, and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Surprisingly, I've never read any of these books, which I know for a horror fan like me, you know, these are classic stories. So I'm sure that some of you guys are, you know, people that are into reading. I'm sure you guys have read these books if you're into reading. And you know, I saw this for all 3 books in one. I mean, all 3 stories in one book. So I thought, why not? I also got an introduction by Stephen King, and I do like that artwork right there. I think it's really cool. And then the next 2 are 2 Stephen King books that my aunt got me at a yard sale. The first one is Blaze. This was one he was writing under the name Richard Bachman. Hardback. And then this is actually another book that I already have, but I think that this is another pressing of it. It's The Dark Half. And I think I've done a video where I show off my Stephen King books, but I have a second copy of this. Let me see if I can do this comparison. This is the first copy that she got me, and this is the second. And as you can see, they're kind of different. Like, if you notice where it says Stephen King, it's kind of yellowish on this one, and this one is kind of like a dark, sort of orangey color. And there's slight differences, like on the spine, on this one, if you look at where it says The Dark Half, around the outline of the words is sort of a brown color. If you look closely, it's kind of a brownish color around the title. And in this one, it's kind of a greenish color. I don't know if you can see that, but I just sort of noticed that, and I thought it was cool. So, you know, 2 books, so I figured, you know, they're both the same books, but I just thought it was cool that they were sort of kind of different. And then the last thing I'll show off, this is I already have this, but I saw this at Goodwill and I picked it up. This is actually the book version of probably my favorite movie of all time, Home Alone. This is basically just a picture book that tells, you know, the story of, basically it's a very shortened, very short version of the movie just in a book. And yeah, this is one of my favorite films, so if I can when I find stuff like this, I like to get it. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I know this was kind of a long update, but definitely let me know what you guys think about any of these movies if you've seen them, and if you've read any of the books that I've showed off. You know, let me know, because I'm pretty excited about everything I got. Really excited. You know, I've had some of this stuff for months, and then I just got a couple of these things the other day, like the Frankenstein and Dracula, and Jekyll and Hyde book, and I'm really excited to read those because I know that those are like classic horror stories. So I'm really excited to be able to have those and read them, and I'm just happy with everything else I got. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this update. Again, let me know if you've read or if you've watched any of these movies and what you guys think about them. I hope everybody had a great Memorial weekend, and I will see you all next time.